Welcome students, myself Dr. Rupak Chakraborty, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science Engineering, GNIT Kolkata. Today, this is my fourth lecture, Programming with C++ Lab. Already you were aware, I have uploaded 3 lectures before this lecture. So these 3 lectures were containing just a brief summary or brief recapitulation you can consider. So in the previous 3 lectures, I told regarding some of the basics of Linux architecture in that very first lecture. Then second lecture was all about some basic commands of Linux, how we can create a file, folder, etc. In the third lecture, I introduced yourself regarding the VI editor. So to write a C++ program, editor is required. So I told you and you also can see in your syllabus the basic concepts of VI editor is there. That is why I gave you some idea of VI editor, how we can create a file, how we can move cursor from one place to another, how we can concatenate some text, etc. So, and this is my fourth lecture. So in that fourth lecture, I will show you some hands-on of C++ programming. Either I will show you the editor will be VI editor, Nano editor. These are two editors I will use, and the main thing is to compile the C++ program. You need one compiler is required, because you are already familiar with C programming language. For C programming language, I think Turbo C++ you used, but you used it in Windows, so it's a totally different operating system, Linux, and I am using one distribution of Linux, that is Ubuntu. So without wasting any more time, I am moving forward to the contents of this lecture. So the contents of the lecture is, today we will see some hands-on programming in any editor, and how G++, how G++ or GCC, whatever the name, how G++ or GCC compiler compiles it, how we can run it. Okay, so I am moving forward to my first slide. This is the contents. You can see introduction of GCC compiler, why GCC compiler is there, what is its task, and how we can install this GCC in Ubuntu. The second point is I will just give you a talk for 5 minutes regarding VI editor. That's why I have written revisit of VI editor. Then how we can write a sample C++ program in VI editor. After writing programming VI editor, then we will compile to the using the GCC compiler or G++ compiler. Then Nano editor, so it is very much easy as compared to the VI editor. I will suggest students you may go with the Nano editor, because it is comfortable enough. All the keys, up arrows, down arrows, left, right, all the keys are supported in that editor, and only 2 keys are required for saving the program and for going out of this editor to go back to the terminal. So Nano editor you may go. And another one is the GDB. So GDB is the another tool. So I will give you a very basic idea of GDB, how we can run, how we can compile using GDB. Okay, and run the code. And some commands are there in GDB, so I will leave it to the students for detailing of this type of commands. So today's basic motto is, I will show you some hands-on programming of C++, some syntaxes, how to declare variables, and how we can compile it with the help of GCC compiler, right? So these are my lecture contents for today. The introduction of object-oriented programming will be discussed in the next lecture, and then we will go to the detail. Although I gave some introduction in, I can remember, in that second lecture. So I will make a PPT and in my next lecture regarding introduction of object-oriented programming, what are the features of OOPS, etc. And then we will go in detail. Oops. But before going to detail, some basic idea of C++, how it looks like, how is its prototype, etc. I think it is very much required. Okay, so moving to my second slide. So introduction of GCC. So GCC is the GNU compiler collection. GNU means it's I already told, not Unix, and G is a silent one. So not Unix compiler, not Unix means because it is a free open source. I already told Unix is not the open source, right? It is not free. So, and that is why Linux is the open source and free. So not Unix compiler collection, GCC collection of compilers and other libraries are there in GCC, right? So by default, GCC is not there in many of the distributions. It is required to install. It is required to install in your Ubuntu version. So what are the commands? How we can install? I will show you. Although I have already installed in my Ubuntu system, in my system actually in Ubuntu operating system, but I will just show you the commands. Okay, it supports not only C++, other Objective C, Fortran, Ada, Go, D programming languages. So for all these programming languages, these compilers and libraries are these compiler and libraries is used. Okay, many open source projects and the Linux kernel are compiled with the GCC as well. So there is a demand of GCC, that is why it is required. It is means very obvious, you must have to install GCC compiler, otherwise you cannot run this type of programming languages. Okay, now steps installation of GCC in Ubuntu. So first of all, now I will open my terminal. So before opening the terminal in Ubuntu, just see the first one is we should update the um, means update the Ubuntu operating system. Means all the packages are already installed are there. Is there any updated packages or libraries are available or not? So for checking this, there is a command, sudo command. So this you have to remember, sudo apt then update. So that means we are going to update the total Ubuntu packages, sudo apt update. So with the help of this, if it checks the operating system will checks is there any available versions are there or not, updated versions are there or not. After this, so just allow me to minimize. 1 minute. So I will not execute this because already it will take time. Sudo. So this is the thing, sudo apt update, then you have to put the enter. So when you will put the enter, it will ask for the administrative permission. That means the you are here administrator root, so password is required. So the password you have to put. After then it will find search for the update. So after this, then you should essential package. What are the essential packages are required for GCC compilers to run smoothly? So for this, sudo apt installed build essentials. Again, I think you can see this. Sudo apt install build essentials. So this is the command. Sudo apt install build essentials. So this command installs a bunch of new packages including GCC G++ compiler, right? So if it gets successfully installed, if all these packages which are required for smooth running of GCC or G++ compiler, if it gets successful installed, then only after that we will put GCC space minus minus version, means which version, which is the updated version of GCC has means which updated version of GCC has been installed in our Ubuntu distribution. So that will be displayed. Okay, so I am sudo apt install build essential, you have to write here. Also you have to write sudo. I will again not press the enter because already I have installed it. So you have to check it. Sudo apt install build then essential, this is the command. Sudo apt install build essential, this is the command. You have to put then enter, then all the required updated packages will be installed. I am not wasting time because if I put it again it will check, although there is no updated version because very recently I have done it, but again it will check. So directly I am writing GCC space minus minus version, so it will give me idea key. Oh, see, you can see GCC Ubuntu 9.3.010. So 9.3.0 is the updated version, and this is means they are for Ubuntu actually this is the updated version and it is already been installed in our system, right? There is no such updated version. So that is how you have to install the GCC. So there are three steps. First of all, you should update the Ubuntu, and then what are the essential packages are required for GCC or G++ compiler, that you have to check with the help of build essential command. Then you have to check the minus minus version. Okay, means then you have to check the version by putting the command gcc space minus minus version dash dash version, whatever you can say. So after successful installation of gcc, that means the platform is all set to see ki how how c++ code can be compiled as well as executed. Okay, so before showing this, first of all, as allow me to move to my presentation. So I just want to show you key vi editor. That's why I have given the name of the heading as a revisit of vi editor. So just I am briefing for 2-3 minutes. So vi editor, yeah, it is a editor. From terminal we have to switch to vi editor by using the vi command, vi then file name. So already some of the files are existing. If it is existing, then it will open. If it is not if it doesn't exist, then this file will get created. So vi space file name with extension, that means one file will be created. And there are some prototypes of c++. So I will write here, you try to understand. If you find very difficult to understand, then I will elaborate in my next some videos key. Stepwise I will explain key what this line means, what the next line means, this line. Okay. um, so vi editor, we can create a file, and in that file we are permitted to write our content. So we will write this, and to move the arrows h, j, k, l. So these four keys you have to remember: h for left, j for up, k for down. So these are the things you have to remember. L for right, and a, if you want to put some character in between this, then you have to press the a, then you are allowed to. So these are the some of the keys I already told, some keys or some commands already told. And if you want to delete dd, you have to put, okay, so for particular line number, then g line number, you can move from one, means the line number, then g. So like that you can move from one line to another. So these are some vi editors. So so here you can see in that second one, sample c++ program to test. So first I am moving to my vi editor. In that vi editor I will write a 4-5 lines c++ code. Okay, so then I will execute, means I have to return back to the terminal again. Then I will compile it. I will compile with the help of the gcc compiler, and then I have to execute it. I will execute it. Okay, so this is the task I am going to show you. Although I told ki vi editor is not the perfect one, means is not for students comfort. So that is why you may move to the another editor, that is a nano editor. So they are not, means very less commands are there. So I will show you how nano editor is fruitful as compared to the vi editor. So now I'm going here directly. So I am in the terminal. I have already checked the gcc version, that indicates ki gcc is already there in our system. Okay, so now vi. So first of all, the current working directory. So I can change my directory. Suppose dir1 is the directory. In that dir1 directory I want to create a file, means using vi editor. So vi, then first program .cpp. So that means first program .cpp file will get created, and we will move to the vi editor. Enter in the vi editor. See, I have entered in the vi editor. So now I am in the command mode. So you know, if you want to put some, insert some text, then you have to press the I for insert. So I have pressed the I. So now I can write c++ code. Has, so be careful because vi editor is not that much user comfortable. Has include IOStream. .h is not allowed. Now I can put enter. The namespace you have to add here. Namespace std. So std for standard. It is the abbreviation of standard. To namespace means it's a collection. Means for all the functions, libraries, everything. One namespace is already there in C++, and we are using the namespace of std. So if you include std namespace in your program, so all the predefined functions, libraries, that becomes available. Especially cout is there. In cout is the object for displaying some content, like printf you used in C language. For it is a function, user means it is a library function, inbuilt library function. It is there inside stdio.h. So here namespace, under namespace std, cout, cin, all these objects are there. Okay, so for displaying some content we have to use the cout object, and then the operator, extraction operator, and then cout. Sorry. Oh, see, so now it comes like C programming, I have to use the main as well. Like C programming, we use the void main. Here we have to use the, this is a problem actually of vi editor. Now int main, enter. Okay, so I just want to print a simple line here. Okay, I'm not going in very detail. Cout my first program. Endel is for ending a line. Ending a line means now our cursor will move to the new line. So endel you can use is for ending a line. So cout is the object here, and less than symbol has been used here twice. So it is a, means these two is known as a operator. Combining these two can be considered as a two times less than. So it's a combined operator known as the extraction operator. Means want to extract some content from the console, means extract some content and then want to display it in the console. So cout is the extraction operator. Here after this extraction operator, inside a double quote, key the string can be put inside a double quote. So one string I have written, then again extraction operator. Actually in C language, you should use the comma symbol. You should use the comma symbol for concatenating something. So here if you want to concat two strings, or then you have to again use this extraction operator, right? So how many times you want to concat the strings, you have to use the extraction operator. So endl for new line, then semicolon as it was. So my program is, now as I have mentioned here, integer main. So that means main is a function. Main is a function, like you already were familiar, you already are familiar with void main. So main is a function, void means it returns nothing, empty. So here main is a function similar to, and int means main is a function which is going to return some value, integer value, right? So integer value, any value you may use. So 0 is an integer value, even -1, -2, +1, +2, whatever you want, means some integer value it is going to return. Okay, so that's why I have mentioned here return 0. So cout means when we will compile this with the help of GCC compiler and we'll run it, then what will be the output? Now my first program should be the output. Okay, so it is a structure of C++ program, and I have written it in a VI editor. So now task is, it is required to save. It is required to save. First of all, I have to put the escape. Now I have put the escape, then :wq, :wq. That means it gets saved, the contents get saved inside the file, my first program .cpp, and q means quit as well. Now enter. So now I have returned to the terminal again. So now I can check when I have used the vi editor. That means I will use the more first program.cpp, more first program.cpp. More command is used to see the content inside the file. So fast program.cpp file, yes, it is existing, and these are the thing it is carrying inside it. Okay, so now the term is now GCC. Now GCC space, then simple file name.cpp, very simple file name.cpp. So my file name is first program. My file name is first program. Excuse me, sorry. GCC, sorry. I made a mistake. What type of mistake? GCC compiler. Actually, if you want to compile with the help of GCC, the syntax is little bit different. You have to use the file name again. So that is why now you can use G++. If I use G++, now it has been compiled successfully. So if you use GCC, then the syntax is little bit different. So I am not going to be make it complicated. So that is why I have used here G++ fast program.cpp. Okay, so it has been successfully compiled, and now output file has generated. To see the output of this program, dot slash a dot out. Okay, my fast program, you can see my fast program, you can see. Okay, this is the output dot slash a dot out. So this is the standard you have to remember. You must have to remember for all, whatever the, either in vi editor, nano editor, in gdb, wherever we will, means whatever the editor or tool I use here. So to see the output dot slash a dot out, so this is the standard command you have to remember to see the output of the compiled file, right? If we use the G++ compile, if I use the G++, if I use GCC, then at little it will be a little bit different. So you can see that is how my first program, I think you can see my first program, this is the output of the first program.cpp. This is the thing we put here. So now I am going back to my presentation. Now vi editor a little bit complicated. I already told, lots of commands you have to remember to switch the key, means from moving the keys from upwards, downwards, and inserting content in between the lines, etc, etc. So that is why in Linux you can find all means in like vi editor, another editor is already installed, already there in Linux. The name of that editor is the nano editor. Okay, so in nano editor, just description of this, it is a simple text editor like others. Syntax is just you have to use, you have to write nano, like same like vi, nano space file name with extension, right? For saving, the simple key is the control plus capital O. You have to save the, in vi editor you put colon, first you pressed escape, then colon, then w for saving, then q for quit. So here you have to use the control plus O, very simple. Then you will see how many lines are there in that file, etc. Everything will be shown here. If you use control plus O, then enter, control plus O, then enter. Okay, then for exiting, means for returning to the terminal, control plus capital X, then you can come, you can exit from that editor, and you can, means return to the terminal. For compiling, I already showed you ki G++ file name with extension. G++, I am using G++. It's a simple syntax. That is why my motto is not to make it a very complicated, make it a simple. So G++ file name dot extension, file name with extension, dot extension, whatever. Then for running, dot slash a dot out. Okay, this is a forward slash dot forward slash a dot out. Okay, for every, for whatever the compilation file will be generated, to run that file, you have to use the dot slash a dot out. Okay, so now I will show you how simply nano editor is. Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, so I am making it. clear. Now see, so I will use here a nano editor. I will use here a nano editor. So far it was the first program. Now second program dot cpp. See, GNU Nano 4.8. The version is already been displayed here. 4.8 version I am using the same. So first of all, header file. What is IOStream? Now it's a header file. So don't include here, and it's a very means proper works. The output window works like a proper display editor. You can see the color of include gets changed. Okay, so you see also you already saw in Turbo C++ compiler, when you use the include, then stdio.h, it gets white. Include color is little bit different. So same here. Nano editor also means the editor has been designed in such a way to make understand students key. It is a header file, it is a what if it is a keyword, means keywords are specifically colored, etc, etc. So has include IOStream, don't include H. Okay, so if you include H, actually the version GCC doesn't mean support this, so it may give you some error. The namespace IOStream is required because the cout, in all these objects, definition of all these objects are there in IOStream. Okay, but only using IOStream doesn't complete the task. So that is why you have to use the namespace as well. Some other definitions of this standard STD is there in the namespace. Okay, so that is why you have to use the namespace as well. So now using namespace, see, you can see the color of using namespace is also some different. Okay, now integer main. So I will give you detailed lecture regarding. So here I am feeling very much comfortable. See, here I am feeling very much comfortable instead of VI editor. So here we can add. Okay, we can add something. So I will first ask cout enter two numbers. Enter two numbers. Allow me to declare two variables, three variables. So n1, n2, and 4 is. This will store the summation. Okay, so I am C in insertion operator. C in is insertion operator. Okay, so n1, n2. I already told, as there are two inputs means two variables are required to take the input, store the input. So that is why two times I had to use the insertion operator. Greater than symbol, that is insertion operator. In C language, what you did, that you used twice %d if it is integer. Okay, so now it gets stored in n1, n2. Now task is s is equal to n1 plus n2, right? And just cout sum is equal to, then again you have to print this s, then endl. So I told key to concatenate between string and variable, instead of the comma we have to use the extraction operator. So that is why sum is equal, then again extraction operator, then s, then endl. Okay, now the last line is you should return some value, integer value, return 0. So it's a perfect program. Now control plus O, as I am in the nano editor, you can see, as I am in the nano editor, then the key is the control plus O. Okay, so control plus capital O. See, when I have used the control plus capital O file name to write second program, means it also reconfirms key you want to change the file name or not. So I don't want to change the file name, so that's why second program.cpp is a perfect one, or you may change as well. Add.cpp you may use. Okay, now enter. So add.cpp gets saved, then control X. then oh sorry, just use here y, then it is saved, then control x. Okay, so now I want to compile, then g plus plus add dot cpp. Just a minute, give me a minute. Allow me to make changes. Yes. Okay, I don't know why the input. Okay, just I will check why is this problem is. So instead of doing this, what I will do here now, just I will check it and I will let you know. So that is how we can take input. In Windows it works perfect, but I think there is some problem. So now it is so instead of taking input, so I am just directly assigning the value of n1 and n2, 5 and 7. Now I want to add 5 and have 7, and want to, and this addition gets stored in s and want to display this s, right? So now control o, control x, yes, control x. So gets compiled. Sum is 12. Okay, so now this is the, now just want to modify again, now let's see. I think now I think it should work. Now I think it should work. Okay, now see, it will work. Control o, yes, control x. Now g plus plus, yeah, I have compiled it successfully. Now the two numbers, the 5 then 7, see, so it gets successfully compiled and running perfectly. Okay, so you have used key how we can program in nano editor as well. So first of all, you have to open the nano editor by using the nano command, and then the file name, if it is not there, if it doesn't exist, then the file will get created. Okay, so in that file again, just so version, you can display the version, it is a 4.8, my current version. Then iostream namespace main, then two variables I have declared in one and two, and s for storing the addition. Then I asked for entering two numbers from user. These numbers get stored in n1 and n2 twice, as there are two times two variables are there, so twice I have to use the n1 n2. Then summation gets stored, and finally sum is printed. And to concatenate between the string and the variable, extraction operator is again required. Now moving back to editor. So this is using the nano editor. So now another thing, that is a GDB. So GDB is a tool. It is a tool, debugging tool. So GDB is the acronym for GNU debugger. Okay. So it's a tool, debugging tool for so with the means using g++ we can compile with the help of this gdb tool, and we can run. First of all, we have to compile using g++, then with the help of gdb tool we can display the output of the file as well. So you can use the GDB as well. So in GDB there are some commands, for breakings or seeing the lines, for moving to the next line, for printing. So I don't want to go in very detail because my task is actually GDB supports this. GDB supports key how we can break line, how we can, means through command prompt we should break, we should see key this from this line to this line, I want to see the output. So GDB helps to perform this. We can print from certain portion of a line, so everything is permitted using GDB. So that is the importance of, that is why actually the GDB concept has been embedded in Linux. So I will not go in detail because my actually in your programming lab you are asked to use only using the GCC or G++ compiler. Motive is ki successfully compile the program and run the code. So that is why, but I will show you some way how we can execute the code using GDB tool with the help of G++ compiler as well. So it is the acronym for GNU Debugger. This tool helps to debug the programs written in C, C++, Ada, Fortran, similar. What? Okay, because GCC compiler is associated with GDB, so that means all these programming languages can be executed using GDB as well. The console can be opened using the GDB command on terminal, like VI, like nano. So you have to open the console using the GDB command. Steps to execute C++ programs in GDB. First of all, as I told, I feel little bit comfort in Nano editor. So it's up to you students. You may use Nano or you may use VI editor as well, and there exist some other editors as well. So whatever the editor you want to use, you may use, but I will go for the Nano. Then write down the code, just stepwise I have written over here. First of all, you have to open the Nano editor, then write down the code, then use command to return to terminal. After, means the command is control plus O for saving, then enter, then control plus X. Then for compiling, the command is little bit different, G++, then minus G, then space minus O for output, file name, then file name dot cpp. So this you have to remember for compiling. Actually, why do you have to remember? Because you want to see the output with the help of the GDB debugging tool. So that is why, if you don't want to use the GDB debugging tool directly, only GCC compiler or want to see the output in the base terminal, then it is not required. But if you want to see the output with the help of GDB, means you want to enter in the GDB GDB debugging tool and want to see the, means want to take the advantage of GDB tool, then you have to compile it with the help of this command written over here. Then create output file using command GDB space a.out. Okay, so that will create a dot, means output file for successfully executing in GDB debugger. Then it will take into the GDB mode. When you will write GDB space a.out, then it will take into the GDB mode. Then press R to run the program. When you will press the R, whatever the task of the program, that will get displayed. Then you can press Q to exit from GDB, and it will return, bring you to base terminal as well. Now, whatever I have written over here, want to show you as hands-on. Okay, just use clear. Okay, inside the directory 1. So first of all, Nano editor. Yeah, I can open Nano editor. It's just, I will use here one function as well. Okay, Nano edition, add using function, right? Dot cpp. It is a function name, means program name, add with the help of function. So simple include IO stream using, sorry, namespace is standard. After standard, then one function I want to declare, int add. Okay, in that function I will write integer x, integer y, sorry. Now in that function I want to store summation sim equal to x plus y, then return this summation. Okay, fine. Now we know the definition of function should be written in outside the function, right? Now I am entering main. I may ask from user, enter numbers, enter two numbers. Okay, now what's a variable to variable is a b required. Okay, so enter two numbers. I may ask, then I can store it. Okay, I can store it using c in. Now I should call or directly. Now I will directly see out. Addition is, just a minute. See out addition is colon. So call the function, right? Now the function name is add and pass this to variable a b. That is how we can do it. Now endl, you may use endl, right? So just see the just see the code. It is not too much difficult. I think those who are very much familiar in C language, all of you are familiar with C language, so I think you should not face too much difficulty to understand this code. First of all, header file, then namespace std. It is required. I told you these two are required for IO stream and std. These two contains the definition of cout, cin, and etc. Addition is the function, and addition is the function. The task of the function is it will take x and y and then add it and return that summation. Okay, so from main, inside main, I have declared two variable ab and asked. Okay, enter spelling is wrong one. 1 minute. I asked from user to put two inputs, and that two inputs get stored in A and B. Then from and then I want to display whatever will be returned from the addition function, so that I displayed using the cout. Addition is add AB. So add AB function, you can see 1 minute. Add AB function, I think it gets called inside the cout. So that means actually cout function, when I call this function, from with this cout, so automatically it looks for the integer, automatically it asks for some return value, right? So that is why addition is, then add ab, whatever it will return, so that gets stored and will be displayed. Or separately, if you want to print separately, then what you have to do, you have to take another variable, int s is equal to or you have to do, yeah, int s is equal to add ab. You can do this also. Okay, you can do this also. Then you have to write, so whatever you want you may use, whatever you want you may use. Okay, so first of all, so I am putting it here, so that means two times addition will get printed. So two syntaxes I have used here. Either you may take the accept the return value in a separate integer, that is s, and then call that add function, or insert from that directly using cout, you may call that function as well. It also looks for some return value as well. Okay, so now two times addition will be printed. So control plus o, yeah, perfect one. Control plus x. Now I am in the terminal. Now we have to use the gdb. So first of all, I have to check whether gdb is there or not. I will put here gdb. You see, gdb is there, gdb is there. Okay, gdb is the by default debugging tool. It is automatically there in every linux. From return back to terminal, again press q, enter. See, I have now come out for the q stands for the quitting. So now I have written the code. Second step is over. Now third step, use command to return terminal. Yeah. Now that fourth step is compile this. For compiling for gdb, g++, then minus G, then minus O, then file name. File name is add underscore, sorry if it's in small, function, then again add underscore function dot cpp. Now see, successfully gets compiled, now I want to see the output in gdb mode. So gdb space a dot out. Okay, now it will take me to the gdb debugger. See, I am inside the gdb debugger. Now I want to run the program. Enter two numbers, 4 then 5. Sum is equal to 9. Only one time it gets printed. Okay, only one time it gets printed. So I think, okay, fine. So I will check key. Only one time it gets printed. Now I am pressing the quit. So actually the thing is a mistake I did. Na? So because of this actually, okay, now it will print. Control O, Control X, fine, and Control X. Okay, now again the compile it using the G++. Yeah, perfect one, successfully compiled. GDB, yeah, GDB mode, then R, then ask for 7.5. Oh, actually I am problem. Then again, so only single time the GDB actually, that is the I think drawback of GDB. So only one time the sum is get printed. The last output, it looks for the, actually to go for the particular line there are some certain commands, because twice I have used this out na? So for display, for displaying the two times output, you have to use the some certain commands. First of all, you should reach to that particular line, you should reach to the particular line. So then you have to press the print command, then it will display the output of this line. Then again you have to move to another line, and again you have to put the print command, then it will display the, or by default what will happen, now always the last line of the program will get displayed, always the last line of the program will get displayed. So just my motive was key to give you some basic idea of GDB. The rest of the some commands you can find, or I will list some of the list of the commands, so you can try by your own. I am leaving it to the students. Okay, so that is what actually the basic things I wanted to discuss with you, ki how to write or execute C++ programs in various editors, in VI editor, in nano editor, using GDB tool. So my suggestion is you should use the nano editor. It is a very simple one. You should use the nano editor. It will not create too many confusion. And then to compile the program, you should use the G++, then file name extension, then run for running a dot out dot slash dot out. Okay, so this is the technique, this is the perfect technique I think you should, but the knowledge regarding VI editor, GDB tool, it is required for exam purpose, for interview purpose as well. So that is why actually I gave you some idea. So my suggestion is you should follow this only, specifically these only. So these are the contents now from the, these are the contents for today's lecture. So in the next lecture, I will give the introduction of object-oriented programming approach. What are the features of object-oriented programming? Why it is advantageous over structured or procedural-oriented programming languages? Then we will start our C++ course using G plus and using nano editor, and G++ compiler will be my preferred choice. Okay, so for bye for now students, that is the end of the today's lecture. Very soon we will meet you again.